You gave your whole team one Telegram proxy. You pasted a single link into the group chat. Everyone tapped it, and it worked. That link is one host, one port, and one secret, shared by every person on the team. It feels tidy. It is a quiet trap. The day one of those people leaks the link, or leaves the company, or gets phished, you have exactly two options, and both are bad. Do nothing and let a stranger keep using your proxy, or change the secret and knock your entire team offline at once. One shared string cannot tell your people apart, and that is the whole problem. I run managed Telegram hosting on dedicated hardware here in Singapore, which means I hand teams access to proxies and accounts for a living. I have set this up the lazy way, one link for everyone, and I have watched it fall apart the first time somebody left on bad terms. So this is not theory. It is the plain difference between a proxy a team can actually manage and a proxy that manages you. And almost nobody thinks about it until the day they have to cut one person off and cannot. Here is the plan. What sharing a proxy with a team actually means at the wire. Why a single shared secret is the trap it is. How giving each person their own secret fixes it, and how that even works. What capacity and location you need when it is a whole team and not one laptop. Why the IP everyone shares becomes a reputation you all live on. How to bring a new teammate on and, more importantly, take a departing one off cleanly. And where all of this should actually live so it is boring instead of a fire drill. Start with what a shared proxy actually is, because it is simpler than the setup makes it look. An mtproto proxy is one machine listening at a host and a port, and it checks each connection against a secret. Share that proxy with your team, and, in the naive version, you are sharing that exact string, the same host, the same port, the same secret, with all of them. Every teammate pastes the identical link into Telegram, and to the proxy they are indistinguishable. It works on day one and it keeps working, which is exactly why the trap stays hidden. The trouble is that one secret is one identity for a crowd. The proxy cannot tell one teammate from another, because they carry the same key. You cannot see who is actually connected. You cannot cut off a single person. You cannot tell whether the traffic climbing on your box is your 10 colleagues or 2 of them plus a stranger who got the link. Everything about who is using this thing is invisible to you. And you gave up that visibility the moment you handed everyone the same string. And that string leaks the way every shared secret leaks, which is constantly and quietly. It sits in a company chat where it gets forwarded. It rides along in a screenshot when somebody helps a colleague connect. It lands in the Notes app of a phone that later gets sold. Worst of all, it walks out the door in the memory of every person who ever leaves, and the shared secret they still know is a shared secret they can still use. You were never going to change one link for the whole team over one departure, so you never did. And now a former teammate has a working key. The fix is to stop sharing one secret and start issuing one per person. A real mtproto proxy server does not hold a single secret. It holds a list of them, and every user on that list gets their own. Same host, same port, same one endpoint you run, but a different secret string for each teammate. To the person connecting, nothing looks different. They paste a link and Telegram works. To you, everything is different, because now the proxy can finally tell your people apart by the key each one carries. That one change buys you everything the shared link stole. You can revoke a single secret and only that person drops, while everyone else stays connected and never notices. You can look at the proxy and see which secrets are live, which means you can see roughly who is on. You can hand a brand new teammate their own key without touching anybody else. The proxy stops being one anonymous door that either stands open for all or slams shut on all, and becomes a set of individual keys you add and remove one at a time. Now the parts that change simply because it is a team and not a single laptop. Capacity is the first one. One person on a proxy is a trickle. 10 people running Telegram all day, syncing media, sitting in busy groups is real, steady, concurrent load, and a tiny free box will choke on it. You are sizing for the sum of everyone at once, not the average, and Telegram feels congestion as lag and dropped connections. A proxy that was fine for you alone can crawl the day the whole team piles onto it, so plan for the peak, not the polite average. Location is the second one. A proxy sits somewhere, and that somewhere decides two things at once. how fast it feels, and where your team appears to be. Put the endpoint far from everyone and every message pays the round trip in latency. Put it somewhere sensible, close to the team or close to where you actually need to look like you are, and it feels quick. For a team that all needs to reach the same place from the same place, one well-chosen location beats 10 people each guessing with a random free proxy from a list. There is a subtler cost to a whole team on one proxy, and it is reputation. Everyone on that proxy shares its IP, and Telegram forms an impression of an IP over time based on everything done from it. When your 10 teammates all behave like 10 normal humans, that is fine. But a shared IP on a crowded, anonymous box is not carrying only your team. It is carrying strangers whose behavior you cannot see and did not sign off on, and their mess becomes your flags. A clean, dedicated address that only your team touches is a reputation you actually control. Bringing a new teammate on should be a 30-second thing, and with a secret per person it is. You generate a fresh secret on the proxy you already run. You send that one person their own link, they paste it into Telegram, and they are on. You never reissue the master link because there is no master link anymore. Nobody else is disturbed, nobody else even knows someone joined. The new person gets a key that is theirs alone, which means the day they leave you already know exactly which key to burn. And taking someone off is the entire reason this matters, so do it properly. When someone leaves, for any reason, you revoke their secret and only their secret. That person is off the proxy in seconds, and every remaining teammate keeps working without a blink. Compare that to the shared link world, where a departure meant either shrugging and leaving a live key in a former teammate's hands, or rotating the one secret and forcing all 10 people to reconnect on the same afternoon. One clean revoke versus a company-wide scramble. That gap is the whole point of the exercise. With a team leaning on one endpoint, you also have to watch it, because now a single dead proxy silences everybody at once. When it was just you, an outage was your problem for a minute. When it is the team, an outage is everyone messaging you asking why Telegram stopped. So the endpoint needs eyes on it. Is it up? Is it reachable? Are connections landing? Is the box near its limit? The failure you are guarding against is not dramatic. It is a quiet stall at the worst possible time, and the only defense is somebody actually looking before the team notices. You might be tempted to skip all of this and just feed the team a free public proxy from some list, and you should not. A free public proxy is a stranger's machine, shared with an unknown crowd, with no secret that is yours, no capacity that is promised, and no idea who is reading what passes through. For one throwaway login maybe. For a team that runs real work through Telegram every day, it is the opposite of the control this whole video is about. If access matters enough to give the whole team, it matters enough to not be somebody else's free box. One more habit ties it together, which is keeping a single quiet record of who holds which key. Not in the group chat, not in a shared screenshot, but one place you control that says this secret belongs to this person. When it is written down, taking someone off is instant, because you know which key to revoke without guessing. When it is not, you are back to the same fog the shared link created, unsure who is on and afraid to change anything. The whole benefit of a secret person collapses if you cannot say whose is whose. Let me be clear about scope, because it matters. Everything here is about giving a real team clean, manageable access to Telegram. A company, a support crew, a group that works together and stands behind what it does. It is not about handing 100 throwaway logins to one person, or dodging a ban, or hiding who is really behind an account. A proxy is just a clean, stable path to Telegram. The whole point of doing it this way is accountability, knowing exactly who has access and being able to take it back, which is the opposite of anonymity for its own sake. A single shared link is tidy right up until the moment you need to remove one person, and then it is a trap. Give every teammate their own secret on one endpoint you control. Size the box for the whole team at once. Put it somewhere sensible on an IP only your people touch, and keep a plain record of who holds what. Do that, and adding or cutting a single person becomes a quiet 30 seconds instead of a company-wide scramble. Telegram Vault is managed Telegram hosting on dedicated Singapore hardware. Real handsets on real carrier SIMs from Singtel, M1, StarHub, and Vivifree. So your team runs on clean, stable IPsec with access handled for you. One key each, easy to add, easy to revoke, watched around the clock, instead of a single shared link rotting in a group chat that you are scared to change. If that is what your team needs, start at telegramvote.org. Onboarding begins with a real conversation about your setup, not a checkout page, and the code TGYT gets you a discount when you start. If this made you go check who still has your team's proxy link, especially anyone who already left, then it did its job, and you should probably go sort that out before you forget. Subscribe because there is a lot more on running Telegram accounts and infrastructure cleanly coming on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.